Sports. Mikey B back again. It is week number 5 going into it. And what we have here are the top passers as rated by NFL.com. We talked about it, been looking at it for a couple weeks. Not many plays, not many hits on this, but I still like going through this for my fantasy players and for guys to understand the progression and how players are able to sustain what we think they had at the beginning of the season. And the guy that consistently ranks up number 1, who has been consistent over the last 4 weeks, obviously is my homie, Patrick Mahomes, my homie, 1510. 1,510 passing yards, 10 touchdowns. The guy has been unbelievable. Consistent, has a long ball, short ball. Doesn't really have the speed that you usually see from some of the quarterbacks of his stature, but he doesn't necessarily need it. He does have wheels, but doesn't need it. He's a pure quarterback in one of the oldest forms. We're talking about Montana. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers' throwing style. He is now in the midst of the elite, and the Chiefs have got something. Great job to Patrick, my homie, doing a great job for the Kansas City team. They are looking like front runners to get that playoff hunt run and go to the NFC Championship and possibly contend for a championship. Next up, down, man, he wasn't even playing. Matt Ryan, I mean, he was gone a couple weeks ago. Now he's back. Matt Ryan back in the house for Atlanta. Saying, hey, man, don't sleep on me from a yardage perspective. But everything else is not good. So I'm going to skip over 8 touchdowns with 6 interceptions. Atlanta's not doing too well. His QB ranking is at a 93. He's still out there. But I cannot give him a top 10 ranking with that many interceptions and his team in the slot that they're in. So Matt Ryan for me is not number 2. Take that off your book. Jared Goff. Hey, why not, man, huh? Why not? Why not? Jared Goff, I mean, he has an incredible defense. Hasn't been the best. 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Threw over 1,254 yards. I mean, not a bad season, but the accuracy has been a problem, and his guys being able to handle the ball have been a problem for Jared Goff. Hey, Jared, I got to be honest with you, man. I can't put you at number 3. You're not there. Let's keep going down. So who in this slot is real? Phillip Rivers comes in. Okay, Los Angeles Chargers. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league. In week number 5 going in, the old man is still slanging 1,254 yards, 7 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. Will he be number 2, 3, 4? I don't know. I'm going to leave him at the 5 slot as we progress down and continue to talk. The biggest surprise of the season, the guy who I was haggling and making fun of, Jameis Winston from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis, hey, your team's winning. You had a 55-point game the other night, passing to Mike Williams and all of the weapons that you've had for years. Can you imagine Deshaun Jackson on his team? Jameis Winston moves in to a top 10 slot. So now we're at 3. NFL.com, I got to help you. Andy Dalton, they got him up there. No. Okay, I'm going to skip down. I don't want this to be a 100-year-old video. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, I'm skipping over him. That has not happened as we thought it would. And he's still a young quarterback. These guys still have to gel. Don't be surprised if we head to the end of the season and these guys are hitting the ground running instead of walking. Right now, they're crawling. But they started to walk last week. Let's see if they're able to run. We'll see what Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott. Come on, baby. Come on, Cowboys. I'm a cowboy. Who sung that song? Was that Kid Rock? Yeah, I'm a cowboy. Kid Rock. Dak Prescott, great job. Great season for him. 1,143 yards. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Gotta like what you see from Dak. I appreciate what I'm seeing from Dak. Great season. He's in the top 10. So right now we're up to Patrick Mahomes, Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston, and Dak Prescott. Will Russell Wilson or Matt Stafford enter into that realm? I'm gonna be straight up with you. There's no doubt about it. I'm gonna first get in Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, hey, you pay a guy and sometimes they fall off. Not the case. Not the case with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Great season for him. He was able to find DK Metcalf, Lockett. Great utilization of his entire team. Understand the offense. They are now a gelling network. May need to help on it more on the defensive side. They can get that defensive going. Hey, Russell Wilson may have something special. He's up there with my homies as a team that could potentially have a championship run. Right below him, I think, is who is having the most incredible season for what he has. Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford for the Lions. Who would have thought it? He was paid a lot, but he's literally, it feels like he's by himself. I don't want to slay any NFL players on a down run and say, let me put it this way. I don't see any big names, right? There's no big names that I'm seeing for Matt Stafford, but he's pulling off right now. He's pulling off one of the more incredible seasons in Lion history. They came out of nowhere. They have a winning record at this time. I'm interested to see how far they can go. Will this die down, or is this just a hot start and they'll fall asleep? I don't know, but I do know Matt Stafford is doing incredibly well, and I like what I'm seeing from him. Let's go to the stat line. Look at that. Guys, I can't believe it. Is this real? Is there no interceptions with Matt Stafford? Let me go back to the line. Oh, no, that's Russ Wilson. Okay, so that's Russ Wilson. I'm sorry. So Russ Wilson actually had 8 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. And it's Matt Stafford with the 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Again, on the Lions. Holy crap-a-moly. Great games for Mr. Matt Stafford. Those 3 there are definitely in the top 10. Lamar Jackson. Inconsistency is something you always talk about with star players. Mike Vick is one of those. Will inconsistency haunt Mr. Lamar Jackson? We shall see. But I have to throw Lamar Jackson in there in the top 10. You're saying, why? Well, he's just amazing. He does so many things well. I love what I'm seeing from him this season. Needs to be able to protect the ball a little bit better. But overall, the stat line is 9 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. There's no doubt about it. Lamar Jackson, with his plethora of weapons, has moved into a top slot from a quarterback perspective, and he's in the top 10. So let me recap so you know where we're at. We're at Patrick Mahomes, Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston. We got Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Lamar Jackson at number 7. Okay? That's my rankings right now. Let's continue down. Not rankings in order, just rankings in the top 10. You know who I'm going to skip over, right? All right, so you know where we're going. You see the names. You see the old tutelage. Joey Flacco is not having a bad season for Denver, okay? He's not. He's not having a bad season. 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But what's more important to you? Is it wins or touchdowns? Because could it be Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, right? Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? Are any of these guys in there? That's the question, right? Is it Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? And for me, I got to give Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers the benefit of the doubts, okay? These two, again, are elite quarterbacks in the league, performing very well, doing a great job. They move into the 8 and 9 slot without question. Even though Aaron Rodgers can do better, I got to throw him in there. He's still doing well this season. I question some of his accuracy, but 6 touchdowns, 1 interception shuts me up pretty quickly. There's not much more I can say on that. So have we missed anybody? You know, have I forgot anybody? Yeah, I did, all right? Yeah, I did. I got 8 and 9, Tom Brady. Well, who could easily be in the 10 slot? There's a couple guys on the bottom who I want us to take a peek at that are not up there yet, but there should be. Look at these two. Jacoby Brissett, okay, Carson Wentz, and Mariota. These 3 are making the contention play to move up. Carson Wentz, incredible game the other night, but he had an extra game to play. He has a little bit of a better lineup. I like his running back. I like his wide receiver. Not great, you know, probably a little bit lower tier than what Mr. Winston has. Can Carson Wentz take the 10th slot? I don't know. Deshaun Watson's another guy, right? Feast or famine with this kid, but 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I'm sorry, Wentz had 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His stat line looks better, okay? He hasn't thrown for 1,000 yards yet, and that's kind of what we're seeing as normal nowadays. So it's tough for me to get him in there with the record. But Marcus Mariota, there's no doubt about it. 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. Great talent. Great games from Marcus Mariota. You got to love him. I move Marcus Mariota into the 9 slot. I know it's hard to say, or excuse me, 10 slot. And here goes my T11, okay? Everyone's sleeping on this kid. I don't want you to, okay? Jacoby Brissett was 1, okay? And then you got Gardner Minshew. Huh? So Jacoby Brissett comes into it at the 11th spot for the Indianapolis Colts. But Gardner Minshew from the Jacksonville Jaguars has had quite a season. And I am totally surprised at what he's accomplished. I mean, this is boy wonder here. This is Doug Flutie type stuff. Take a peek at Gardner Minshew as he moves up the rankings. I give you 10 plus 2 because there's a couple guys that you can swap in and say, hey, and that's Gardner Minshew, that's Jacoby Brissett. I got Mariota there because of the performance of that team and their record, but these guys can definitely come in, take the slot, and take over the lead as some of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. All 4 sports.